To make this mask, you're going to need breathable fabric, the pattern, thread, scissors, pins, and ribbon. If you don't have ribbon, that's okay. We're going to show you how to make your own with the fabric that you are making your mask out of. Also, if you have a rotary blade or a seam ripper, that could also make things easier while making this mask. So, first you want to choose what size you want, and then you're going to cut along the line of the size. Today we are making a small. Now, you're going to cut 4 pieces of fabric, just a little larger than the cutout that you made from your paper template. If you are using 2 separate fabrics for your inner and your outer layers, then you should have 2 pieces for each layer. If you don't have ribbon, cut a strip of fabric that's about 1.5 inches wide and 4.5 feet long. Next, we are going to cut out your fabric using your scissors or your rotary blade. When you're cutting, be sure to allow for a 1/4 inch seam allowance. After you're done, it should look like this. So you're going to flip over one side, so the good sides, the sides that are the most vibrant, are facing each other, and you're going to use pins to keep them secure. Make sure that your edges on both sides align. When you're done, your 4 pieces should now look like this, 2 pieces. So now we are going to sew the center seam. You can pin it if you want, but you don't have to. Remember that we cut for a seam allowance, so you don't have to sew right on the edge of where the 2 pieces of the fabric meet. When you have finished sewing each piece, you're going to finger press the main seam. This will make the end product of your mask look better. Once you've sewn both of the pieces, turn the inner layer inside out and place the good sides of both of your pieces together. Then, be sure to align the edges of both pieces of fabric together on the center seam and pin it in place. Be sure to do this to the top and bottom ends of your center seams of the mask. Next, you are going to sew what would be the top and the bottom of the mask, but leave the sides untouched. We need them to be open to insert the ribbon into the mask. Be sure to make sure that the edges of the pieces of your fabric still align. If you are making your ribbons out of fabric, you're going to take the long fabric strip and fold it in half. You can iron it or finger press the fabric so it forms a hard crease. Then, before sewing, unfold the fabric section and then fold each side of the fabric into the middle on the crease, and then fold that in half. Sew the entire strip of fabric just like this. Once you've sewn the entire strip, cut the strip into 4 equal pieces about 12 or 13 inches in length. You're going to fold over one end of each strip twice, about 1/4 inch each fold. So the piece is going to be approximately 1/2 inch shorter than it is when you cut it. Then sew the ends. Even if you are using ribbon and not fabric, I suggest that you still turn one end over to prevent fraying. Once you have your ribbon or strips of fabric ready, feed a piece through the sides of the mask. Make sure that it doesn't come through the other side. Folding the strip a couple of times and then inserting that into the mask is a way to avoid the piece coming out the other side. Do that to both sides, 2 pieces of fabric per side. Leave about 1/8 inch of the ribbon visible on the outside to ensure placement and the ability to pin properly. When you are done pinning, be sure that each ribbon is placed on the top and bottom corners of either side of the mask. Now, sew both unsewn sides of the mask, but be sure to leave a gap on one of the sides, while also sewing over where the ribbons or pieces of fabric are on that side. This will allow you to easily turn the mask inside out. After that, to make the seams more smooth, pull the seams of the mask a little bit. Once your mask is right side out and smooth, you need to do a top stitch around the mask. This will close the gap left in your mask from turning it inside out and also reinforce the stitches made in the mask prior. After that, you're done. Now you have a homemade mask.